Sonic the Hedgehog vs. Super Mario World. Two great games marking the beginning of the 90s console wars, but which one is the better game? Well, let's take a deep look at them to find out. What's up, Gakuseis? It's your dojo master, the Eternal Samurai. And in this video, I'm going to take a deep look at the gameplay, replay value, stories, music, and visuals from Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo and Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis to figure out which game is superior. And just as a disclaimer, this is my opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, so you don't have to agree with mine. But one thing we can agree on is to do your part by liking this video and smashing that subscribe button, as it really helps out the channel. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. So by the time Super Mario World released, Mario was Nintendo's well-established icon with a solid fan base for many years, but Sonic came in as Sega's way to beat Nintendo. And with the staggering sales that Sonic 1 received back in the day, lots of attention was brought to Sega, thus putting them as the main competitor to Nintendo. But now this only makes us wonder which game was actually better. Well, let's score each game based on the criteria I mentioned earlier. Each criteria will be scored on a scale of 10, then multiplied by its corresponding weight. Finally, the weighted scores of each criteria will be added up to find the final score for each game, and the game with the higher final score wins. Now with all that explained, let's first look into what's arguably the most important part of the two games, the gameplay. As far as for Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the level design supported speed. Overall, the levels were pretty straightforward, as all you had to do was just try to get to the end of the stage as fast as you can. Though there are various stage mechanics and badniks on the way that make for some challenging obstacles. And there are a couple of puzzle solving moments, namely in Labyrinth Zone. You're presented with lots of different paths and obstacles and had to figure out which path to take in order to proceed in the level. And while puzzle solving is something nice to add in games, Labyrinth Zone was honestly not well executed in design. As many other Sonic fans and Sonic tubers have said that Labyrinth Zone is the bane of Sonic 1's existence, they honestly weren't lying. And what made it worse was that Sonic was underwater for the majority of the level, which slowed him down a lot. I mean, if Sonic is all about speed, having a whole level that's underwater where it slowed him down took away from that exhilarating feeling of flying across stages at the speed of sound. And to make matters worse, that oxygen timer counting you down with that dreadful tune piercing through your ears telling you, hey, hurry up, you're gonna drown, and you know what happens when you drown, right? I need air, I need air.
I need it!
Now as for Marble Zone, I would say it was better than Labyrinth Zone. However, there are quite a few places where you were more or less forced to slow down. Because for example, when you were on a block having to travel through lava, you had to wait for that next platform to jump on. And this is another perfect example of how the game slowed down in certain sections when really you'd want to be speeding through stages in a Sonic game. So Marble Zone may not be the best executed, but better than Labyrinth Zone in my opinion. But at least in Sonic 1, we were opened up with such a beautiful stage, Green Hill Zone. It was all colorful and vibrant, and its level design really complemented Sonic's speed and showed everything that Sonic was about. Now the boss battles, I would say they were a bit more challenging than the ones in Super Mario World, and they had a nice progression as they got harder throughout the game. The easiest one obviously being from Green Hill Zone, as all you had to do was just hit Dr. Robotnik while dodging the wrecking ball that he's swinging at you. And the hardest boss battle would probably be from Final Zone, which is when you had to almost guess where Dr. Robotnik would land and hope that you don't get smashed by one of those pistons. Now the other things that help support the gameplay in Sonic 1 were the power-ups that you get from the item boxes, like the shield, invincibility, power sneakers, 1-ups, and super rings. But as for the power-ups, I would say they were nice additions to add into Sonic 1, as I feel like it's essential to have power-ups to collect in any 2D platformer. And as for the character mechanics for Sonic, you had the traditional run, jump, crouch, look up, but there was the additional roll capability that Sonic had that Mario didn't, which I thought was a really nice addition to add for Sonic. Now overall, when I rate the gameplay for Sonic 1, despite there being moments when the level design didn't support Sonic's speed, the gameplay was overall really solid, and especially a great start for Sonic, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Alright!
Now as for Super Mario World's gameplay, let's start with the level design. The level design supported puzzle solving in many different stages. It was required for some parts of the main campaign, especially in the Forest of Illusion. but it was especially needed for all the extra stages and bonus content, which I'll touch up on later in this video. The player had to overcome lots of clever obstacles made by the different stage mechanics like stretch blocks, skewers, pillars, swing lifts, the list can go on. And on top of the stage mechanics, there were lots of various enemies that would add to the obstacles, like bullet bills, boos, goombas, fuzzies, charging chucks, and blurps. But one big nice addition in Super Mario World for overcoming these obstacles was Mario's companion Yoshi. The dinosaur that Mario would ride everywhere, while Yoshi would beat up all the different Goombas and Koopas in the way, and also provide a little bit of a boost up when Mario was about to fall. Sorry, Yoshi. Now, one big thing that I liked about Super Mario World's level design is that it very much complemented Mario's gameplay style. It felt overall very engaging and consistent while the levels would progress in difficulty. Whereas with Sonic 1, the level design always varied and never had a consistency to match Sonic's gameplay style. So I feel like Super Mario World did a lot better job with level design in general. But anyway, as for the boss battles from Super Mario World, they were mostly pretty simple, and the Bowser boss at the very end of the game was probably the most challenging, which was respectable since it is the last boss in the game. But overall, the boss battles didn't feel too hard or anything really too memorable even. It just felt like one little obstacle in the way in order to just progress in the game. So again, mostly simple, just wish it was a little more challenging. The other things that helped support the gameplay in Super Mario World were the power-ups you could get. For example, the Fire Flower, the Super Mushroom, the Power Balloon, Yoshi's Wings, the Invincibility Star, and making its only appearance in any Mario game, the Cape Feather. My most favorite power-up to use in Super Mario World was actually the Cape Feather. While it is a little bit hard to use sometimes, it's honestly really satisfying whenever you can just fly across the stage and hear that wow sound. And as for the character mechanics for Mario, or Luigi if you're playing 2-player, it's just your traditional walk, run, jump, crouch, and look up like in any other traditional 2D platformer. So it's a bit bare bones in that regard, but the controls are really tight, so it helps out the player whenever you're trying to make those precise landings in certain areas. Now overall, Super Mario World had really solid gameplay and level design that was consistent throughout the game. And with all that said, I would rate Super Mario World's gameplay with a 9 out of 10.
Woohoo!
Well, that sums it up for the gameplay of Sonic 1 vs Super Mario World, and next we'll look at the replay value of the two games. So with Sonic 1, if you didn't get all the 6, not 7, but 6 Chaos Emeralds on your first run, you can play through the game again, and again, and again, until you get all 6 Chaos Emeralds, defeat Dr. Robotnik, and then you get this ending. So, no supersonic or anything? You just get this one little ending, which is pretty nice, I will admit, but nothing else. So after making sure that I have 50 rings at the end of each stage, go through the goal ring, complete each special stage, collect the Chaos Emeralds, and defeat Dr. Robotnik at the end of the game, this is the ending I get, and nothing else. Well, I will admit, it actually was pretty fun and satisfying to get each one of those Chaos Emeralds, but I wish I was working for something that was a little more rewarding, like maybe playing some extra stages or unlocking Supersonic, stuff like that, but yeah, in my opinion, Sonic 1 fell a little short when it came to replay value. Unless if you're trying to speedrun stages, then I'd say you have a good reason to play Sonic 1 again. But overall, I would give the replay value for Sonic 1 a 5 out of 10.
Man, today's not my day.
Now as for Super Mario World, I love how beyond the main campaign of the game, we can go back and explore the rest of the map and find hidden pathways as long as we can go to the stages with the red dots on the map and find the key and go to the keyhole within the stage, which would thus grant you access to the hidden pathways. And some of those pathways would take you to switch palaces, which when you press the switch within the palace, you'll switch the dotted line blocks from other levels in the game into solid exclamation mark blocks, and each color granted different power-ups too. This would especially come useful for unlocking all the pathways in Star Road, as well as making your way into the Special Zone. And as we find more and more of these stages and complete them, we can enter an alternative dinosaur land and find masked Koopas in the stages. which to me look like these odd-looking Goombas. Now overall, Super Mario World does a superb job with replay value. I always want to come back and use my puzzle-solving skills to find those hidden stages, which feels like a nice reward because I have more stages to play. And with all that said, I would give the replay value of Super Mario World a 10 out of 10.
Yahoo!
Alright, so enough talk about the replay value, now let's look at the story of the two games. So the story of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, it wasn't really much, it was pretty simple. All you had to do was defeat Dr. Eggman and save all the animals by getting them out of the robots. Now I don't really have a whole lot to say as far as the story, because that's really about it. But I feel like it played on a theme of protecting the environment and endangered species, and ecology in general, as you're playing as Sonic rescuing animals from an evil genius trying to industrialize the world. Alright, now, with all that said, I would rate Sonic 1's story with an 8 out of 10.
Yes!
Now as for Super Mario World, well, it's pretty much just like every other Mario game. You go and rescue Princess Peach from Bowser. And that's it. It's not like it's already been done a million times already, but hey, this time, you're in Dinosaur Land, where you get to ride this dinosaur called Yoshi. Oh, and get this, you even get to visit places like Donut Plains, Vanilla Dome, oh, even Chocolate Island. Now kids, why don't we take a trip to Mario's Candyland? Okay, I know I'm making Super Mario World story sound like it's something for a 5-year-old, but at least it doesn't take away from how much fun it is to play even though I'm much older than that. But yeah, like I said before, overall the story from Super Mario World is just as simple as rescue Princess Peach from Bowser, just like almost any other Mario game out there. Simple and overused. So for that case, I would rank Super Mario World story with a 7 out of 10.
Oh!
So that about does it for the story. Now let's look into the music of the two games. How I'll do this is listen to a little excerpt of a few songs from each game and give my commentary afterward. So without further ado, let's listen to a few songs from the game Sonic the Hedgehog. After listening to the soundtrack from Sonic the Hedgehog, I would say that it has a bit more of an edgy tone as it uses more piercing beats, yet the songs do cover a lot of different moods, ranging from anything that's energetic to calming, or down to business. Yet overall, I would say that it has a nice variety of melodies while using lots of good instrumentation for the bass, percussion, and harmony. And in the end of the day, I'd rate the music for Sonic the Hedgehog with a 10 out of 10.
Piece of cake! No sweat!
Alright, so now for Super Mario World, let's go and listen to some small excerpts from a few of the songs from the game, and then I'll give my commentary of them afterward. So after listening to the soundtrack from Super Mario World, I would say that it overall is easy to listen to as it uses more calming beats. I would say that it also covers a lot of different moods, from anything that's more calming, to fun, or just downright down to business. Yet also another thing I noticed is that quite a few of the stage themes end up using the same melody in different moods. Nothing wrong with that as long as it's done right, and I would say that Super Mario World in my opinion did it right. Now overall, I'd rate the music from Super Mario World with a 10 out of 10. Alright, so now wrapping it up with the music from the games, let's go ahead and look at the visuals from the games. So when looking at the visuals from Sonic the Hedgehog, everything looks more flashy and dynamic. Not to a huge extent, but enough to make the game feel alive. When we look at Sonic, for example, we see how he shows more emotions through his facial animations, like whenever he gets hit, or he skids, or when he's waiting, he's tapping his foot, like he's just staring at us, just like wondering when we're gonna tell him to go. But it's those little things that they add to Sonic that shows that he's the cool blued with the attitude. What? Cool blued with the attitude? Is that what I just said? But it's those little things that they add to Sonic that show that he's the cool blue dude with the attitude. And there are many other things in the game that make it much more visually appealing. For example, the stages look a lot more dynamic with its backgrounds. Not to mention how the Badniks had multiple different animations depending on if they were just flying, walking, or attacking, and even Robotnik himself, like whenever you hit him, or whenever he's running, which he somehow runs as fast as Sonic, I don't know how. But yeah, it's just the little things like that that really add to the visual appearance of the game, and Sonic the Hedgehog did a really good job with that. So overall, I'd rate the visuals of Sonic the Hedgehog with a 9 out of 10.
Too easy. No sweat.
So when I look at the visuals from Super Mario World, the main thing I can say is that they were mostly kind of static. Like what I mean, for example, is that when we look at Mario, he didn't really show much emotion through his actions except for when he got killed or when he was skidding. Also for the stages, while they look more pleasing and easy on the eyes, the animation of the stage backgrounds felt a little bit one-dimensional. Same with the enemies. But hey, at least Bowser showed a little bit of dynamic animation after you hit him, I'll give them that. Now I know I may be bashing on the visuals from Super Mario World, but one really good thing I'll say is that when you complement it with the music, it makes for a really nice experience while playing the game. But in the end of the day, I'd rate the visuals from Super Mario World with an 8 out of 10. So after scoring each criteria from Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario World, we can see how Super Mario World had the better gameplay and replay value, yet Sonic had the better story and visuals. Both games are really great, and I had fun playing both of them. But only one game can win this duel. And now that we've scored each criteria from each game, let's add up the weighted scores from each game to find out who the winner is. But before we reveal the winner, I'd like to hear which game you think is better. Comment below to let me know. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon as it really helps out the channel. So after adding up all the scores, the winner is Super Mario World. Yep, I had to hand it to Mario in this one, but I'm still a Sonic fan at heart. And if you're a Sonic fan and want to see more Sonic discussion videos, click on the playlist on the screen or watch this video on my top 10 Sonic games. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell to get notified when I upload. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch, as well as join the Discord server. The links are in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, we are Eternal for Life.